one of the cool things about TikTok is I get to kind of like have a little bit of random videos of my random thoughts. So if you follow me on Facebook on Red Hot Barrel Horses, you know that I do a ton of write-ups about all kinds of things that people don't talk about. For being someone who trains my own horses, I'm way more forthcoming on information because I don't have sponsors that are going to drop me, and I don't have clients that are going to fire me, and like that puts me in a really unique position to be able to talk about all kinds of things. So today I just want to talk a little bit about like getting ready for the Futurity. We are, closing in on the last 2 or 3 months to get these colts ready. So I have some that are going to run at BFA, and I have some that are going to run at Oklahoma City. So we're like kind of starting, they're all kind of starting to go fast now. The goal is to get them to peak out at that time of the show. So we're kind of alternating them in vet work. So like we've been kind of starting to have everybody checked over who hasn't really had any problems through training, or double checking on, if they had any issues, making sure that everything feels right. And then we are starting to haul them. So the girl that helps me, I told her, I was like, okay, my accountability buddy, I was like, the goal is to go, at least once every 2 weeks somewhere new to kind of cruise them through. But if I can kind of alternate them in and out like every week, or even every like 10 days or something like that, that's kind of the optimum goal. However, as we get the next set of colts ready, I'm also finishing up with the group of colts that I have now. So we still have Breeders' Challenge Finals, Ardmore. We talked about entering one of my mares at Texarkana because she's not going to Ardmore. And then I have Pink Buckle, and then we have Ruby Buckle, and then we like bounce right into BFA, where we'll have the horses from this year that I have, and also the ones that are starting to come. So that'll be the one where everyone goes. So BFA and Oklahoma City are kind of like our two biggest shows, because those are the ones where we have everyone. So, in getting ready for that, a lot of people ask about how often that we are working horses on the pattern. So it totally depends on the horse, but I do have horses that we work on the barrels every day. And then I hear some people that say, oh my gosh, you're going to get so burnt out, or you're going to make this crazy blown up barrel horse, or whatever. If your horse is not if they're not sore, if they don't have ulcers, if you're taking all the care of them and everything like that, and you're not running them through, I'm not saying like run the pattern 100 million times, but they should easily be able to handle trotting and loping through the barrels every day. So at the end of the day, all training is repetition and consistency. So doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I want to, of course, work on softness. I want to work on that horse being collected. I want them breaking at the pole. I want them to be striding out. I want them doing all these things. And so it is a balance, but for the most part, most of those horses need to be worked on the pattern every day, just to work on muscle memory and consistency. Like, they have to practice where to put their feet. That's most of what we work on. Now, occasionally I do have one that's like a pretty exceptional athlete. This year we have the stud colt coming up, and like I don't work him on the barrels very much at all, because he's been putting his feet in the right place for the last 6 months, and it's counterproductive to work him on the barrels. So most of his workouts are more geared towards fitness, maybe like making sure he's good riding around other horses, kind of more just stud stuff, behavioral stuff like that. I really have worked hard on, because I know he's going to be hauling with a bunch of mares next year. It just is what it is. This seems to be all I have. And so, I want to work on him being really fit, really sound, and the barrels should always be really fun for him, because it's not hard for him. So if you have a horse that is really naturally talented like that, I don't recommend working the barrels every day, just because, it's not hard. It's not challenging for their mind. So just think about that. When you were in class, you could work on the same types of things every day in school, and some teachers you were super interested in, and some of them you just couldn't wait to get out of class. So when I work my horses, I kind of want that same mentality. So the ones that are getting worked on the pattern every day are going to also be, because they need that work. It doesn't mean I'm going to work them for 45 minutes It might be 10 minutes on the pattern, or if I've been struggling with something and I want a specific thing and then they do it right off the bat, we might quit there. It's totally individualized towards that horse, and I want it to be challenging all the time. So if it's not a challenging day, I do something different. So just keep that in mind when you're working these colts. It's okay to work them every day on the pattern. Lots and lots of trainers do. I understand there are some out there that don't. However, you really do need muscle memory. And the only way you get it is by doing the things that you're going to do. So whether you do them on the pattern, off the pattern, if you do drills or don't do drills or whatever you're doing, make sure that horse is challenged, continuously working on fitness, continuously working on, collection, softening, body control, being relaxed. I want to make sure that horse is good in all those kind of situations. So one thing I'm going to leave you with, and then I will finish this little series up, is that I had a 3-year-old that we were working earlier this year, and I had a lot of trouble with her elevating, leaving the first barrel, and I've talked a little bit about this on my page. But, I messed with it for a few weeks, and then I was like, you know what, we're going to take her to Dawn and see what we got going on. So we take her into Dawn. She was sore. Nothing specifically where I could say, like, oh, she's really sore, like, in her hocks or whatever. Nothing crazy like that. But she ended up being kind of a little sore in her back, a little sore in her hocks, just a little sore everywhere. We went ahead and worked on her. We got her injected. I gave her a week off, and the very first ride back, so nothing else has been different. She stopped elevating at the first barrel. It was way easier. She come right back around, and that was 4 months ago or something. I have not had one single problem with her since. So like in that kind of instance where I'm sitting there beating my head against the wall trying to get that horse to do the right things, that horse just needed some help from my vet, and by taking her in and getting that, it has completely changed her attitude. She's super willing. She was trying to do the right thing. She just, couldn't. And so, shout out to Dr. Lee, XX Equine. He keeps all of our colts going down the road and 100%. And, having a good relationship with your vet is really going to help you training your colts and deciding, like, okay, is this a behavioral thing? Like, I needed to know. And I told him that before I get to getting after her anymore, I need to know, like, is she sore or is she just being an asshole? So, lots of things to think about there. I always want to give my colts a benefit of doubt. I always joke that they don't wake up every day thinking of ways to screw you over. So, think about that when you're training these young horses. But that's all I got for you today. That is my quick, not so quick tip. And, like and follow for more. And we're going to try to answer some of y'all's questions. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer. Thank you.